No, I do the things that y'all do. That's that like some of you guys that are involved in spirituality practices, some of y'all that are involved with some of your faith-based practices, whether it be prayer, whether it be spiritual medicine out there in the forest that you take, like ayahuasca, whether it be the toad, whether it be some of you guys dab in cannabis products, some of you guys dab in wine and alcohol. And though I don't ever want to get on stream and say, hey, you should go out and do that, I would tell all kids to stay away from that, from the smoking, the drinking. Thinking clear is a great way to be. Because anytime you have inhabitants or things that could dull you and you're not where you want to be, and you're watching things on social media or you're watching other people and comparing yourself, I don't think that's the wave. I think that being driven beyond measure and putting your best foot forward until you get there, and even when you get there, the work is just starting. But a clear mind, being able to really do all the things that you want to do and accomplish it and have the stamina to do it, working out every day, putting your body to the test and risk taking out here. You only get one of these lives in this vessel. You might as well try everything. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not saying try everything like that. Don't get me wrong, Chet. Don't get me wrong. Chet. I'm not telling you to try everything. I'm just saying you should try to do things that challenge you. And that's where I'm at in my life, where I'm going on my 15th year in the league, and I still am as motivated as possible, as motivated as ever. I'm as motivated as much as possible by my own internal belief. Basketball is such a huge culture that has grown so much over the last 76 years, 75 years, the NBA specifically, but basketball was even existent before that. But just look at we live in a billion-dollar industry now, multi-billion dollar industry where, the capital that a lot of us are making, there has to be a place where it goes. And I'm not ever counting anybody's pockets, but I'm at a place now where if I know that economics influence politics, then I should learn how to also understand how all this works at the same time while I'm in the league, because there is a lot of politics that going on around it. That's all I'm saying, okay? And short and sweet. I'm just saying short and sweet. While everybody was listening, I wanted to remind you of this as well, and I keep going back to it because again, it doesn't take away anything from the energy that I pour into the game, right? Not even just the game, to the spirituality of basketball. Whatever I pour into that space, that is where it is. I know the reward of putting in that time. But I'm talking about all of the youngins that are trying to get to wherever they are going. How do you take and extract what I'm saying right now? And this is where I will allow you to extract the advice. How do you take what I'm saying and now it be translatable or transformative for you? So we got to put in that work. And I'm going to show you guys. That's all I can do at this point is just show you. Be an example, show it. All right? Because the kids, not I'm gonna say kids, I'm gonna say the children right now in these younger generations are gonna inherit this earth when I'm 50 or 60. And I don't want to be one of those old heads that y'all looking at and being like, damn, what happened? Like, what happened to Kai? Like, what was he on? Like, what did he do with his time and his power and his influence and his impact and his platform? I don't want to be that 56-year old y'all looking at me and being like, yo, is he ever gonna grow up? Like, what is he doing with his life? Now, I could just retire into the abyss and you guys never see me again. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I do that for a year or 2 or 3 years or 4. I don't know, but I don't I don't choose that right now to go down that route. I don't wanna just disappear. I wanna stand firm with my brothers and sisters that are creating revolutionary movements that our ancestors wanted us to continue, and they wanna see a better, more prosperous humanity. And we're not afraid to go against these big regimes because not only do we have political organization, but we also have economic power that goes into that. And this is just a deeper conversation. So shout out to all my generational leaders that are my age or a little bit older that are doing what you're doing. No, no, no. You guys got to understand. You guys got to understand this. No, That's fine. That's fine. I see a bunch of you guys are gonna have what y'all talk like. I know you guys are gonna have your own thoughts, which I respect. You guys are not always gonna agree what I'm saying, and I'm not gonna know every single one of you in this chat, but to the ones that I'm directly speaking to, have a clear mind, go after your goals, turn your pain into a healing environment, transmute that. I'm not here trying to be this know it all to you guys at all every time I come on here either. It's just I want to explain to you how my pain makes me who I am, but it doesn't define me. Because I've legitimately lost, not lost, I've gained ancestors along this journey that, to be honest with you, they make me look like a little fucking shrimp out here, bro, in terms of the shit that they were doing. They were going overseas. They were sitting down with presidents of different African or different African presidents and leaders. They were sitting down with European leaders. My ancestors were everywhere really promoting peace in a very segregated world. And this was 60 years ago. That's what I don't think people realize, bro. It was 60 years ago. Excuse my hairline. My shit getting crazy. Let me brush my shit. Hold on, y'all. My little cowlick, man. My shit look like, hey, hold on. My little cowlick, bro. But I don't want to get unserious on this. 60 years ago, guys. Just go look at it. It's fine. Looking at my hair and stuff, that's fine. That's fine. Y'all can judge it. I don't care. Hair on, feel me? I join that. I'm gonna tell you this. 60 years ago, if you guys look at what it was like in 1965 for a lot of people around Earth that had that were non-white or had a darker skin tone, what were they doing out here? Just saying. 60 years ago wasn't that long ago. My dad is 59, he turned 60, and some of the things that he dealt with were not that long ago. I try my best to let people know that our political movements that were taken out are the ones that were supposed to still be here today, promoting the guidance and wisdom that we needed to be able to navigate in this world. Some of my greatest community leaders are political prisoners, and they're in prison to this day. That's what I'm trying to, understand how all this was going on, and that takes time because guess what I did when I was in school, guys? What do you think I was learning about in school? In middle school, in high school, what do you think I was learning about? Hey, and don't get me started because I'm talking about just one side of the fence here. I haven't talked about the other side of the fence where I've literally had to plug in the numbers on my phone to figure out how many, how many, how many ancestors were there. So, yeah, it's it's a whole bunch of mistakes of words that at the end of the day you don't have you don't have a lot of time to really regulate until you face what actually happened. Like insane. It's insane when you realize how many ancestors are out there. How many of my ancestors are out there, you guys? Oh, it's how many? And again, you guys, let me see, because I realized that there's a bigger there's a bigger calling that we all have to be aware of. There's a bigger calling. I do my I do my own research on Pop. When he was so young, bro, he was putting out so much so early, bro. He was putting out so much so early. And that's what motivates me. My mom is one of my ancestors, my grandmother is one of my ancestors now, but that's what motivates me is making sure not only do I keep their legacy alive, but I walk around earth like I know who I am. I need that to stay in this zone right now, right? If that makes sense, I need that. I need that power to be able to understand how to. I keep saying navigate in this world, but it really comes from just the education that they went through was totally different than what I got. No, it was totally different. My dad did not grow up the same way I did, and he was just making sure that I had the best opportunities in front of me, and he invested in my dream. He invested in my career. My dad put me into many different environments just to be able to help me learn how to be better at, we used to say being a chameleon, but it's really being intellectually capable to stay engaged in conversations whether you are familiar with what they're talking about or not. It's just staying engaged and staying curious. And I've been very curious about what my ancestors were doing, and that's what gives me a lot of the power of knowing who I am today. When you look back on all the individuals that came before us, I mean, they were some strong people, and it's just not about me at the end of the day. I know that. And even as I'm going through my own journey in the NBA, it's not about me. It's about the next generation and making sure that they have a better head on their shoulders than I did. So I'm ready to continue to grow in this journey as a young man in this world. I'm ready to continue on to develop more relationships with smart people, and even if they are controversial, like, or even if they are canceled, or even if they don't have all the same thoughts as me. I'm not saying I'm getting in a room with a bunch of war criminals and terrorists. I'm not doing that, but I'm saying I want to be able to understand how all of this works while we're all simultaneously trying to live normal lives. Okay. So this is all an inspiration from just the start of the stream, right? This is August. This is called AKA, also known as Black August. There's a lot of Renaissance movements that happen in August. There are a lot of things that have transpired not only in the Negro or Black community, but also in the American Indian or Indigenous, um, individuals and families that are around the world. Uh, it is all of that. It is all of the individuals that are within these systems that look like me. So I'm just praying for a better world. I'm praying for a peaceful world. I don't want to allow evil to run our world. So I'd rather have people be able to vocalize how they feel and me be able to reach out, and even if it is uncomfortable for me, it's just getting a better feel. I pray that you guys are using this as a moment, because I want you guys to come in here again and feel safe to ask the questions that you really want to ask. I don't want this to feel like a regular Twitch stream or X stream, or even when as I start getting on other platforms. I don't want all our conversations to center around yo Kai, yo the season, yo this, yo that. I want to talk about that, but just let me get into that at my own pace. I don't want every stream to be about that, and I don't want to bore you guys with just all these clips and all of these. I don't want to bore you guys with all these clips and